Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Becoming You Again. This is Karen Nelson, your host, and I'm pretty excited about today's episode because I'm going to be talking about happy memories after divorce. Now, I can hear probably some of you are thinking, oh, I don't need this one. I definitely don't want any happy memories. There's no happy memories from my marriage that I want to remember, right? Or you're groaning and thinking, ugh, this is the last thing I want to hear today. But hear me out. Just give me a minute because I promise you that I'm going to be talking about a few reasons why happy memories are important even after your divorce and why you need to be laughing out loud at times in your life. So please stick around, at least give us a chance. It's not going to be a very long podcast episode, but I promise you that if you will just give it a listen, some things in your life may change for the better. All right. We all love happy memories, right? They bring a smile to our face when we think of them. They make us laugh and they make us feel connected to our friends and our family when we think of them and we share them. They are a way of bringing forward the past to the present. And it makes us feel cherished and loved, and all of the players in the memories become something that we can enjoy and share on and on and on. But memories can often feel tainted and triggering after divorce. It is really common for my clients to come to me in so much pain after their divorce that they have a really hard time remembering any of the good times when they were married. Anything that was right or good, or any times where they were happy, because they are so focused on everything that went wrong and how hurt and jaded they are since their divorce. Which I'm not saying that it's bad or wrong if this is you. It totally makes sense if you are not in the space yet where you're able to queue up good memories or share those with your kids. But I just want to open your mind to the possibility that it could be a really good thing if you can make your brain work to bring up and search for happy times that you had during your marriage, even if it wasn't all the time, even if it's really hard to find some. If you'll be willing to look, I promise you that they are there. And it can change your whole outlook, but there is a place in our lives for happy memories, and it can be a beautiful way of connection between you and your children and even your ex if you want it to be. You just have to be open and willing to allow your brain to do the work to find those memories. I have clients who come to me asking what they should do with things from their marriage, like photos or keepsakes, trinkets from family vacations, or even their wedding ring. Like, we all have those types of things, wedding dresses and things like that. And some women are so stuck in their anger that the only option they can see is to just get rid of these things as quickly as possible. They find them triggering, they find them upsetting, and they just don't know what to do with them. And yet, I have other clients who come who just aren't ready to let go of their old life. They miss it terribly. And they use these types of things against them to feel miserable when they look at them, to bring up memories and, use that as a way to feel sad, to feel like they've missed out on something and feel sadness about where their life is right now. But I don't want you to use memories in either of these ways, in any of these ways. I know that there are some happy times in your life when you were married, and I want you to just take a few moments to try and dig through those memories and find some that you can use to recall to create something good. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you need happy memories after divorce and why you need to laugh out loud sometimes, especially after divorce. The majority of women that I coach didn't have a 100% completely terrible marriage. They just didn't. But all their brain is looking for during and after the divorce is evidence about how terrible their ex is and what a terrible marriage they had and how miserable they are right now. But when I ask this question, tell me a memory that makes you happy from your marriage. They can always find one. They may have to dig a little bit, but they can always find one. So why is this important? Because I think it's really helpful for you to remember that life is 50-50. Meaning 50% of it is going to be good and there's going to be enjoyment and happiness. And 50% of that is going to be on the other side of that. Many of our thoughts after divorce are about feeling hurt and unmet expectations and feeling let down or abused in some way. And when we're constantly focused on those thoughts, we feel terrible because those thoughts create negative feelings, right? And it's okay to think these thoughts and to feel these feelings, but it's also okay to have a break from it sometimes if you want. And an easy way to do that is to think of memories that make you feel happy. So I was coaching a woman who had jars of sand from different beaches she and her husband had traveled to during their marriage. And she was conflicted because she wanted to keep the jars. They brought back really good memories for her of the trips that she had enjoyed and times that were really fun and enjoyable. And she felt really good when she thought of those memories and when she looked at those jars and held those memories in her mind. And yet her ex didn't want her to keep them. He wanted her to get rid of them. And so she was confused because she didn't know what to do. So we coached through it, and she realized that she really liked the memories and the feelings that accompanied those thoughts, and she wanted to keep them. So her work was that she needed to be willing to let her ex feel whatever he was going to feel about her keeping the jars and allow herself to keep the happy memories that came along with looking at and having those memories about the times they had traveled in their marriage. And this whole idea of being able to recall happy memories at a time when you may need them most always reminds me of Harry Potter when he has to do the Patronus charm. And the whole idea behind the Patronus charm is he may be in a situation where he's scared or terrified or, fearful or something terrible is going to happen and he needs to protect himself. And the way he protects himself is he goes to a happy memory and he recalls that memory and he allows the happiness and the joy to overtake the possibility of the negative emotion. And that is how he's able to create that Patronus charm. And so I kind of want you to think about it in that way. Like you could use it as a way to drown out some of the more negative emotions that you're feeling, because it's really common to feel lots of negative emotion, especially when we're going through a divorce. And it can be hard to feel positive when there's so much negativity going on. And this can be a really good, easy way to do it, even if it's coming from when you were married. For sure, look for ways to find those positive memories that are going to serve you in the moments that you need. Now, the second reason to have happy memories after divorce is because laughter truly is the best medicine. It just feels so good to laugh. It feels so good to smile. Laughing and smiling are so full of joy. I often think of that scene in Elf when Buddy the Elf is in the department store North Pole and the store manager asks him, "Why are you smiling like that?" And Buddy says, "I just like to smile. Smiling's my favorite." I totally agree with Buddy. Smiling is one of my favorite things. You can't have laughter without smiling, and laughter and smiling are fun. Laughter creates endorphins that feel euphoric. You burn calories. It is so fun to laugh. And when you can tell your kids stories about funny things that happened during your marriage or when they were little, or even if you all have a funny memory that you like to share that happened when you were married, talk about those memories. Laugh together. It's a beautiful way to connect with your kids, to connect with yourself, and it feels so good to laugh. Let laughter be a way to heal yourself from all the pain you're feeling because of what you're thinking about your divorce. Give yourself permission to smile and laugh, and it's okay to let go of the pain, even if it's only for a moment. And the third reason why it's important to keep happy memories of the time during your marriage is because these memories can be a way of keeping your family unit connected between you and your ex and your kids. Now, hear me out here. Like it or not, your children are part of you and your ex. You may not be happy with the way things ended, or even with who your ex was during the marriage, or who they're being right now. But if you continually reject him as a person, your kids will feel that. And it will create an environment where it's going to be much easier for them to feel rejected by you because they know that they are half you and half them. They are a product of the two of you, and it's okay for them to be from you and from him. Telling fun, happy stories of when you were together has a much better chance of creating an environment of happy thoughts that are going to lead to feeling joy and acceptance and love. One of the things that my ex and I told our kids when we told them we were divorcing was that we were still going to be a family unit, even though our relationship was no longer as a married couple. But that we were always going to be their mom and dad, and we would always be a nuclear family in that way. And so we often tell stories and think of great memories of times when we were together. We have so many times on vacations, like when we were in Virginia and we went to a restaurant called Ted's Bulletin, I don't know, like 6 or 7 times. And we were only in Virginia for like 5 days, but we loved the food so much. Every time we'd go, we'd get the chocolate cake. This was multiple days in a row. We just kept going back to this same location because we loved it so much. And that is one of our most favorite memories to talk about. And we can't wait to go back to Ted's Bulletin again. Or the time we went to Universal Studios over Thanksgiving and hardly anyone was there, which was amazing. And so while their dad and I enjoyed some spiked butterbeer, the kids went 6 or 7 times in a row on the Jurassic Park ride because there was no one in line and they just kept running back and forth. They'd get off the ride and jump back in line and go on it again. And we also like to remember the time we took the road trip to the Grand Canyon when the kids were younger, and we brought along a portable DVD player in the car to keep the kids occupied. And we ended up watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure over and over and over again, literally the entire trip. It is still one of the funniest and best movies that we like to watch. It's these types of memories that bring laughter and love and connection. And they can live on from you to your kids and beyond. Divorce is already challenging, but it doesn't have to be completely tainted by sadness and misery. Look for those moments when goodness and joy was felt and give yourself permission to cherish those happy memories. If you like what you heard on today's podcast and you want to know more about working one-on-one with me, you can go to www.karennelsoncoaching.com and schedule your free consult to find out more. That's www.karennelsoncoaching.com. Thanks for listening. If this podcast episode agreed with you in any way, please take a minute to follow, rate, and leave a comment. And for more details, make sure to check out the show notes by clicking the link in the description.